such publication, citation, this one. We just did our work. Is that clear? And other things followed, which is what I encourage. Next slide. I like to always begin my talks with this picture. You know it, Abi? This is a picture of this Abuja, the Hilton, Nikon. In 1987, when some guy went to this jungle, is that not so? Huh? Went to the middle of nowhere and sunk his money. To the average mind, that person must be mad. Is that not so? He must be mad. But today, that jungle is the most expensive real estate in Africa. Is that clear? So that person was not, he wasn't mad. He had vision. Is that also? He had belief. It was not guesswork. It was based on research he had done, data collected, predictions made, and he felt satisfied, and he put his money there. And many Nigerians that also went to Abuja at that time are all very wealthy Nigerians today. Is that also? Because they got the land for peanuts. So that tells us the importance of having a vision, of thinking bigger than your immediate situation, which is what we are doing now. Is that also? Because now we want to get grants. Next slide. I like this video too, because everything we are talking about, grants and everything, is a personal decision. So all of us, we have the same environment, same motivations, same situations. But how do we take it? How do we decide to move? Are you following? It's your choice again. You can move with the situation, or you can do what? As you like. There is no problem with any of these choices. Problem arises when this person now wants to have muscles. Is that not so? Or when he wants to have the benefits that the other man had or has. It's not going to happen. And they keep causing troubles. And when this kind of person enters the space of the other person, that environment will gradually start decaying, because this person has no motivation for that job. Is that clear? So this takes us to something that is a problem for us in Nigeria, which is mediocrity. Many of us in Nigeria we are mediocre, actually, all of us. Why do I say that? Many of us do not make effort to achieve a dream. Many of us have no dreams. We have no targets. We have no goals. So maybe we have dreams, but dreams that are based on nothing. Dreams based on illusions, not dreams based on facts. So when you have no dreams, you have no goals, you have no motivation, you have no targets, you are automatically a mediocre person. On the other hand, some people are said to have excellence in their attitude, knowing that you can always do more, can always do better. All of us can do better. That's the main difference between mediocre and what? And excellence. Next slide. So statistics have shown that in every community, even in this institution, in every gathering of people, 5% of those people in that community are what is classified as terrible performers. When I was in school, we had a classmate. If you write the answer on the board, she won't see it. Right? So those people we call itiboribo. They are 5%, and they exist actually. The other 5% of each community is what? World-class performers, 5%. While 90% of us are what? Mediocre. They are in the majority in every environment. Majority. For instance, so we are having this program today, and we have this handful of people here, which is very encouraging. If it is election for ASUP, Abi, election for dean, election for council, this hall cannot contain. Is that not so? Never. Next slide. So how do what we want to achieve here today is to promote research and development. I think, apart from what the director has said about getting to the rector to create an enabling environment in terms of finance and support, the primary responsibility for research and development lies with the individual, with each of us, one by one, right? Part of our problem in Nigeria has always been that we have always employed or recruited or appointed people that are not suited for what they are doing. That's my belief. And that's the reason why we are where we are today as a country. And I've observed, just like the man that was sitting down and using his treadmill the way he wants to do, when such people, because he will start to grow in that in his office, and also, and as he grows without effort, people see him and they get what? Next slide. So when we have this culture, when we put people in positions that they are not qualified or motivated to be in, they will never hit the target. Sometimes they don't even know where the target is. Is that also? And that affects the entire system. Next slide. Nigerians and prayer. We like to pray. Is that also? So imagine your mechanic, you take your car to your mechanic and he calls prayer warriors to come and pray for the car, which is what we do most times. We leave the thing that we should be doing as people and we will be praying to God to come and do magic for us. God is not a magician. Next slide. There's something called the Peter Principle. The system we practice, where people are promoted after every 3 years. We do what? Promote. At least for us in academics, there are some requirements, right? Publications, this and that. In other cadres, there is no such requirement. Just time on the job, and we promote people and promote them to the highest level of incompetence. And they will sit on top of a system and do what? And destroy that system. Next slide. I don't like this. Yeah. So many of us, if not all of us, in this country now, we've become zombie. You know what zombie is? Huh? You know zombie? What's it called again in English? Huh? Not imbecile. Zombie is like see zombie there. Right? No passion, no motivation, no urgency. We come to work by 9 o'clock, 4 o'clock we go. Nothing achieved, nothing cared. So some of us will come to work before 9 o'clock, they have eaten bread. By 10, they're eating rice. 11, they're eating beans. They just spend the whole day and they go. That reason for which we were employed. Leave the space, Kwan? No. So what zombies do to an environment is to do what? To destroy it, which is what we are seeing in Nigeria mostly. Again, it is us, right? Next slide. So I finished my introduction. Now we go into the technicalities. I come from Futo, right? On this slide, I wanted us to look at the differences between polytechnics and universities in terms of research, right? Because if we know our rules, we will know how to fit in. So polytechnics, you know, I think that those that will I say founding fathers of Nigeria, they were deep thinkers. They were deep people like Emayo Baranko. They were deep thinkers. They understood things and put those things in place. It is not by accident, for instance, that you have Poly Nekede, Futo in Iyagwa, Omagwe, or the other way. It's not by accident. Those that set out these things, we are imagining that this ecosystem will be a functional innovation and excellence hub by now. And also, there's no road safe to come. So those that planned the system had the vision, but those running the system now have no idea, have no visions. So they will start to change things. Next slide. They will start to change things. So you see people now talk about HND degree dichotomies. And also, they've changed Alvan now to become university, so people will answer professor. That also, but the key, the fundamental role polytechnics and those institutions are supposed to play, when every student in Nigeria becomes a degree, who will do the technology for us? Who will do it? That's one question. Next slide. So why I like to have this kind of conversation is because at this time we have decided to do what? Stop complaining. That's the funny thing. All of us know Nigeria's problem. Is that also? Nigeria's problem will fill this room. Is that also? So, what are you doing with that problem? That's the question. What are you doing with Nigeria's problem apart from complain? Let me mention here, TET Fund NRF, why we are here today. Is that also? They are giving grants for people that have ideas to solve what? Nigeria's problem. So Nigeria has, so if I say in this room now, all of you should give us Nigeria problem. One person will give us 50. Is that also? That thing should be 50 research topics per person. And that's the secret actually for this NRF. Problem solving projects. Futo has won quite a number of NRFs on things like Mini, on things like not on science and technology, but on Nigeria's what? Problems. Next slide. So, in terms of roles, higher polytechnic, their primary mandate is technical and what? Vocational training. University is comprehensive education and what? And research. University of Technology is technological innovation and high-level STEM education. In terms of qualifications, you have ND, HND, BSc, MSc, and PhD, BTech, MTech, and PhD. In terms of academic emphasis, Polytechnics is what? Practical skills. University is what? Theoretical knowledge. Tech is what? Technology intensive knowledge. These are very clear distinctions, right? In terms of role in economy, Polytechnic is what? Support SMEs and mid-level what? Manpower. University is what? Knowledge creation and leadership. The other one is what? In terms of role in the economy, which is the easiest one? The easiest one that has no definition is what? Knowledge creation and that's why many people are trying to go to, there's no direct what? There's no mandate, there's no direct, because anything can be knowledge. But for Polytechnic is what? Right? Very clear. So how many of us here have this mindset? That's one question. So nowadays, in many countries, Africa, Nigeria, polytechnics face status what? Perception issues. The HND and the BSc what? Dichotomy. Based on what? Based on very irresponsible what? Perception. Lazy perceptions, because we have allowed ourselves to be, no more thinking. Recent policies have attempted to bridge the parity gap by doing what? Converting some polytechnics into universities of technology. That one is okay, that one is fair. But there is a gap. So if all of us now start to do industrial development, R&D, who will support the SMEs? When I speak in FUTO, I tell them FUTO was set up to promote technology development of Nigeria. That was the mandate. If you look at Nigeria and technology, you don't need a magician to tell you that FUTO is not doing well. We've left a mandate. Look at SMEs. In Nigeria, is there any SME? You know, where they here is filling station, hotel, and what? And fast food. Is it not your fault? As poly lecturers, is it not your fault? Don't you think so? Or is it their fault? So these are issues. Right? So effective articulation between TVET and university education remains key priority. We have not been able to, even we in Puto and you in Poly here, there is almost zero. I told you, there's even no road connecting us. All right? They are doing it now, Abi. So next slide. So I have a slide here on the research mandates of polytechnics, because you are polytechnic. Bridging what? Innovation and what? Practical solutions. So I will blame you. You blame me too. Is that also? All of us can be. Polytechnics are vital institutions in the technical and vocational education and training ecosystem. Their research mandate focuses on applied, practical, and what? Community relevant innovation. And the aim is to drive local industry growth, to drive community development, and to drive what? That's your mandate. All right? Your core research mandate as a polytechnic is what? Applied and what? We in the university, our mandates can be what? It's called fundamental research. Is that also? Or blue skies research. We can do that. But you here, you have no such mandate. It's clear. Applied and what? Practice-oriented research. Industry-relevant innovation. Community-based what? Problem solving. Vocational education enhancement and what? Product development and prototyping. That is what your sector demands of you. Next slide. So here I just put out some of those things. You can jump it, okay? It's clear. Next slide. So in summary, polytechnic research is practical. It is what? Problem solving is what? Impact driven. It enhances national what? Productivity. Fosters what? Innovation and strengthens communities. Strategic investment and policy support can do what? Amplify their. So 1 and 2 concerns us, 3 concerns the system. Is that also? Next slide. Let's go into now money for research. So the problem has always been, all of us here, me included, all the research we have done from our first degree to master's to PhD have been self-funded. Self-funded. One time I went to the Nigerian Army conference and they were asking me why we are not doing research for ammunition. I said, for which one concern me? I'll use my money and do research for. No, when you bring money, we will do your. When you bring money and bring your problems, we will do what? You can start to find a way to solve it. Not my money. So there is money out there, like the director said. There is so much money. TED Fund every year, for instance, gives out 8 billion, 10 billion. Right? Each research team can get maximum 50 million. And I'm thinking this year is going to go higher because that 50 million is no longer 50 million again. So there's money out there. There's so much money. There's money all over there's even more money internationally than in Nigeria. Right? But that money, you have to compete for it. So that is what is called this grantmanship. It's a skill. It's the art of acquiring what? Peer-reviewed what? Research funding. The way you mark scripts, the way you mark our student script, that's the way people will do what? Will review your proposal submitted. So you have to develop that the skill to know how to address people. Is that also? And get what you want from them. So research grantmanship starts from what? You have to find the funding. You know? You have to find it. It will not come to you unless the VC or the rector brings and gives and or she does that now. You find the funding, you do what? Develop your proposal. You submit your proposal. If you are successful, you set up the project, manage it and do what? And close it out. Next slide. Nowadays, all of us on our phones, you know, on our phones, using our our handsets. We are using our handsets. We are missing money every day. If you have the right attitude, me now, as I am now, any research grants that I don't apply for or submit a proposal and it passes, it's a personal loss to me. That's how I feel now. Is that clear? So I'm always looking for grants. Always. It makes life easy. You won't chop their money, right? But there's something nice that somebody gives you 40 million naira to do your work. And you spend money the way you can't spend it before. It makes you live long, actually, you know. So to get a research grant, there are steps. One is to do what? Identify who wants grant. One is TET fund. In Nigeria now you have TET fund, you have Nigeria Communications Commissions, you have PTDF, you have NCDMB, and so on and so forth. You have UNIDO. You have even the World Bank now. You have African Development Bank. You have Bank of Industry. All of them give money for research. Are you aware of that? Because you are not looking. So each of these people have their own processes. TET fund, for instance, which is the main reason for our talk today, has its own process. So you meet their process, submit a proposal on time, you stand a chance. It is when you have written a proposal and submitted it on time that you have a right to go and kneel down and start to pray to God. Is that also? If you have no proposal, you are praying to God to give you what now? Next one. So what makes a good proposal? Next slide, just press. One is what? Explicit link to funder. What does that mean? Every funder says what they want to. Are you following? What they want to fund. TET fund, for instance, wants to fund projects that contribute to Nigeria's development. That's their interest. So whatever proposal you're submitting, you must do what? You must show them clearly how it does what? Contributes to Nigeria's what? Development. So for each, if it's the Bill Gates or Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they fund projects on public health and community health. Then I'll go and carry projects from chemistry and give them. Waste of what? Time and energy. So that's one. Two is what? Easy language. So I'll tell you a secret. So I was in the TET fund. TET fund has what they call the National Research Fund Committee that meets and reviews proposal. I was in that committee for 4 years. Right? That's where my first secret came from. Those that review your TET fund proposals are who? Do you know? One of your former rectors is there too. It is former VCs, former rectors, and sometimes ASUP. Are you following? They put these people there. They don't put experts. That's the point I'm making. Huh? So if I go and write my proposal and start to write chemistry language, what will happen? Huh? Throw it away. So that was an eye-opener for me. So they put those men there. Why would they take a former rector here and put him in that committee? A former VC. Because they have spent 5 years managing finance, managing people. Are you following? Knowing what projects are feasible with what kind of budgets, and stuff like that. I follow you. So when you submit a proposal, one look, they will know if it is what. That's what TED Fund wants. So TED Fund is not a grant for scientific research. It's a grant for what? Problem-solving research in easy language. Is that clear? Number 3 is what? What is white space? Have you ever marked a script of a student? When you open it, he has used writing to fill every line there. There's no space for you to even see anything. How do you feel about that? You open a script like this, from the first line to the last line, everything is, will you read it? Those that will review your proposal are human beings like me and you. When you go and jam pack everything and give them, they will hate you. All right? Once they hate you, even if you like, let your proposal contain the formula for, they won't see it because there is a bias already. Number 4 is what? Upside down. What does that mean? I'll tell you an example again. All of us, Africa, the biggest part of the afternoon meal or night meal you give your husband is the meat. Is that not so? And we keep the meat for last and chop all the garri or rice. And now that affects us even when we are telling stories. We leave the main gist for the last and start with nonsense. Is that not so? And the person is already reading nonsense. He gets tired. He doesn't get to the. So we are doing it like this. We are doing it triangle, putting the best for. Upside down triangle means that's your main information. Put it what? First. And grasp the man's attention. And let him read further. That's a skill too. Is that clear? And the other one is what? Clear. What you are saying has to be clear. Next, just press again. Next one. Before you can write, you have to do what? You have to think about it. You need to, the conceptualization of what? The thinking stage. You can't just go and start writing you have to think about it and digest. Is that not so? Until it's clear to you before you can do what? So you need to early enough do what? Determine exactly what you want to do. It must be clear to you. There's no guesswork in these things, you know? You state exactly what or why your project is what. You know, in those 419 days, they have Otimpu. Is that also? Otimpu is like Oliver the Cook and Co. They will be that also. In this proposal thing, you have to be your own what? Because you have to convince that person why what you are talking about is what? Important. It's your job. You never expect a reviewer to do what? To say, okay. No. Put it on his plate. Right? Next one is what? Define exactly how your project fits with, if you see the TED Fund concept note and the proposal template, they want to know. They want to know contribution to Nigeria's what? Development. You have to show it. Not your intellect. They don't care about it. You know? Next one. So before you start writing a proposal, you do what? Think. Must be a lot of thinking. That's the work. The writing is an outcome or output of thinking. Next one. So the more time you think, the less time you struggle, because it's clear. Next slide. So this one you know now. The process for research, it starts from what? Start from getting your research focus or topic. When I have students for projects, I ask them, I always tell them, start with focus area, leave topic. By the time the work starts to progress, the topic will do what? It will emerge on its own automatically. Select the topic, define the research problem. No? Yesterday, we are doing a defense in my center in S12 for PhD. One student, problem statement, 4 pages. Asking him, are you solving all the problem in the world? You want to solve it in this project? If your problem statement exceeds 1/4, half page, you don't know what the problem is. You have no idea. So you must be able to clearly define what? The problem. Do proper literature review. Definitely, of course. Spread that. Cite references, identify gaps, and these are automatic things. Number 2 is what? You design your research, define the variables. So next slide. Number 3 is the research implementation. Number 4, data. So all of these things you know already, right? Next slide. So the grant proposal component. The first thing in a grant proposal is the introduction, the background. Is that also? You say it is the what are you talking about? Introduction, aim and objectives, problem statement, project goals, and impact. All of these are what? What are you talking about? That's the first thing. Next one is that thing I'm talking about. How will you go about it? Is that also? Literature review. But all of us, definitely, we understand the importance of effective review of what? Literature. It's very important. You define your research methods. When I was in that committee, well, you get there. Don't worry. Then we talk about the activities, the outputs, the timelines, the indicators. These are very important, especially for TED Fund proposals. Your research methodology. What are the activities involved in your methodology? What activities are you going to implement? You know? For each activity you have set out, what will be the output? Right? The outcome, the impact. These are all different things. Right? What is the timeline? What indicator will you use to test if you have achieved the activity you want to do? Very important. Next one. The research team. So is the what, the how, and the what. The who. Who is in your team? Is it your friends? Is it your departmental colleagues? Do you put them there to help them to get promotion? Are you putting them there because you want? Who is in your team? How important is the team? Right? Next one. Then is the means. All these things you have described. What do you need to achieve it? Are you following? In TED Fund, for instance, projects. A vice chancellor, for instance, or a rector can look at your proposal and look at your budget and say this person is just playing. Is that clear? That's the experience. So you must be able to do what? Define your budget and justify it. Next one, next slide. So the one very important place that we have problems is in specifying your objectives. You know it, Abi? Huh? You can jump it. I think it's clear. It's clear. So your research objective has to be clear. That's the point, right? It has to be specific. It has to be what again? Measurable. It has to be what? This is very important, and it's even more important for grants that are not research grants. There are also grants for projects, like the ones we have in Futo. Futo, we have 3 centers of excellence in Futo now. Those centers are not research grants kind of thing. Is that clear? Those were project grants. They want to see all of these things. Next slide. So the point is, when you state your objectives, you have to be careful the kind of words you use. Your objectives must focus on what? Enhancements, on improving, quantifiable enhancement. Is that clear? So use words like to increase, are you following? To improve, to enhance, to decrease. Those are the words that an objective should have. Something like to create, to establish, those are not objectives now. Is that clear? These words to develop, those are activity descriptors, not objectives of a project. But we will see that later. Next slide. So very important is what is called the results chain. Those of you in social sciences and humanities, this is your area. It's not I'm a chemist. Is that clear? It is very important in every project now to link your inputs to the what? To the impact. So you must clearly define what your inputs are. That's a different section. Define what activities you have, different section. Define the outputs from each activity. Very clear. Nobody will give you money to do activities that are not well defined. Then define the outcome, the outcomes of each output. Then define what? The impact. So outputs, outcomes, and impacts are what? The difference is what? Is in the time scale involved. Is that clear? We'll get to that again. Next slide. So in that results chain, you consider certain things. You consider what will the results mean to your framework, right? What can come out from? What further work can come out from your results? Will the results influence anything beyond that data you have? Will the results contribute to solving what? Societal problems? Will the results influence government policy? What will be improved or changed by? Once you can answer all of these questions in your proposal, that fund will give you money. Is that clear? Once you can answer all of these things in your proposal, you will do what? You will get the money. Because nobody will put their money in a gamble. Is that clear? They want to see who will benefit and to what extent. Next slide. Then the Gantt chart. You must be able to give timelines to your activities. Which ones come first, which ones follow next, and what time, how much time it will take. That fund will give you 2 years, maximum. Next slide. Then the budget. So the budget is what will help you to define your project actually. Is that clear? So it's something you have to think of at the start of your proposal. And the budget is one way to convince your reviewers that you have given sufficient thought to this and that you know what you're doing. For international grants, mostly the budget, for your budget, everything you want to buy, you must get the quotation. Everything you want to buy, you must get the quotation from the manufacturer or the supplier. Nobody will give you money just for, because you say give me, they give you. No. There are budget components you will see in TED Fund templates, and then there are budget categories. Next slide. Press again. So, how many of you have tried TED Fund before? And you failed, Abby? Did you vex? Huh? What did that vex? What did that vex do for you? Huh? There's a question somebody asked me one day, and it made me stop vexing for these things. He said, "Who is your father? What gives you the right to think that you must get everything you apply for?" No. So how do you cope with rejection? How do you cope with it? It's very important. Does it demoralize you and make you say, "Nah, I beg. To hell with you," right? Yeah. It's not your money. There are probably about 2 or 3 million Nigerians applying for the same thing. Is that not so? So for each failure, try and find out why you failed. So in Futo now, we have these reviews. We have these things to prepare for TED Fund submissions. And some people, when they attend, the first thing they say is, "Aha, now I know why I failed." It's very important to know why you failed. That clear, so I don't make that mistake again. Nobody will fail you because they hate you. They're not seeing your face now. Are they seeing your face? Nobody will fail you because you are Igbo. Will they fail you because you are Igbo? That's the most stupid thought to have in this world. So the first time I went to that committee, in the group I was with, people were coming to defend their proposal, those that passed the last stage. And in the list they gave us, there were about 16 or so, 16 names. 6 were Hausa. All right? 6 were Yoruba, 2 Rivers, 1 Igbo. And I said, marginalization. That's what I said. Unlike me, though. So I sat down there, and the bookies came to defend. Are you following? All very sound. All very sound. The Yoruba people, the Ofemani people came to defend. All of them, what? Sound. Same thing, the Igbo guy, everybody was sound. So what happens? Or what happened? We in the Southeast, we don't apply. We don't apply for this thing. Futo, the first year I was DVC research, we got 14. 14 successful NRFs. Before that time, we had only 5, all through the universities, because of that mindset, right? And then I became DVC. We started to encourage people to do what? To apply. And we had this sensitization every day. Sensitize, because I was in the committee, I knew some of these secrets. And when we applied, the applications from Futo that year was 76% of the Southeast. Can you believe it? Applications from Futo alone was what? 76% of the Southeast. That means we are not applying because Nigeria hates us. Is that also? Huh? It's a very stupid mindset. Because there's money somewhere to be, and we find reason. We find reason not to apply for it. And then we look for who to, you're not doing well. Are you following? So when I went to TED Fund to get our award letters from TED Fund, they say, Futo, where is Futo? I say Southeast. They say no, it must be a mistake. Yes. No Southeast University has those numbers. You get 1 or 2. While FUTA and ABU gets 20, 15, a lot. So now we are coming fourth in Nigeria based on the numbers we are getting. Why is that so? Because of more awareness, because of more effort, more applications. The more you apply, the more chances you. It's a simple thing. So, learn to cope with rejection. They will bounce it, no problem. If you know how many I've written in this world, you pity me. After my PhD in Calabar, I told myself I must go outside Nigeria and do postdoc. I must go and do postdoc outside Nigeria. That time I was using Yahoo Mail. You had to go to Timasi. You know so? Cyber cafe, sit down and do night browsing. One day I counted the applications I sent. 700 and something. Before I got one. You get it? 700 and something. Every night I would take night browsing and I would send the same mail. Someone will insult me and tell me, who are you? Your CV, the equipment you have, you haven't seen it before. What are you coming to do? I kept trying until I did what? I got it, and things changed. Next slide. So, the way to support ourselves, the way to ensure that we start to get these things is by what? By mentoring. Like this. Right? When I was Director of Research, we used to have what we call speed networking. I told you about it. Speed networking. We bring people from different faculties and we put table like this. 4 sit here, 4 sit here. Long table. All of you just sit on this side. We give you 5 minutes, talk with this person. You talk for 5 minutes, you move. Are you following? Trying to sound out each other to see who has similar ideas. We have to engage. You have to brainstorm. You have to engage yourselves. Because sometimes you will have knowledge or ideas that you don't even you don't know. Yeah, somebody will see you and hear you. Okay, let me tell you a story. I had a colleague in Futo there in agriculture. Was using human shit, human dung, to make a liquid fertilizer. And the fertilizer was used to grow rice in Futo. You know what I'm saying? Futo soil, used to grow rice there. I said, okay, apply for money now. Happy here. Finally, he sat down and we did application. First trial, he got the grant from TED Fund. I follow him because one day we were talking and he mentioned to me that see what he's doing. So we need to be talking. Is that clear? You don't know what you know. Next slide. Do any of us have problem of how to identify a research topic? Is there a problem for us? I don't think so. Next slide. Next one. So, we have to, at the end of this session, I can give my assignment. You have to do this concept mapping. You know, how to manage your idea from the broad idea you have to a specific topic that will fly. The different stages: define, narrow topic, gather the information, create the research questions, develop the statements, find the sources you need, and write. So that's it. So it involves brainstorming, like somebody said there. Identify what you need for that topic or idea. What do you need? What do you know on that topic you have? What do you know about it? What have you done on that topic? What is missing? Then how do you do what? Bring them together to have a proposal. Thank you. Next slide. So in summary, there's no right or wrong way. Is that clear? But there are guidelines you can take. For instance, I said it before, you must link your proposal to what? What's your funder wants? Is that clear? You give him what he wants. You must put statements that show that this thing you say you're looking for is what I'm giving you. Must put it, make it clear. Don't expect him to do what? Find it by himself. No time. That person maybe is reviewing 400 proposals. So what is on his mind is what? If you're reviewing 400 proposals, the first thing on your mind is how many can you disqualify immediately? Immediately. Which ones can you throw away? That's the first thing. So don't give them reason to throw your own away without even reviewing it. Just look at, no. Demonstrate the need for your project. It is your job. Are you following? That project idea is very clear to you. You know it. But the person that is reviewing your project, does he know it like you? One is what? Show that your proposal is what? Is well planned. Nobody will put money where it's not. This one is what? Cost your project properly. For instance, when we have that committee meeting, you will see a questionnaire proposal asking for 46 million. To do what? So that is what? That is a reason to do what? Guys, he's talking nonsense. Is that not so? Straight away. And the budget comes on the first page. So I see a proposal, pick it up. Questionnaire work. 46 million. On the reason for disqualifier, I find one thing and put there. Is that not so? Nobody reads it. I save my time. So it's your job to ensure that your proposal is not in that way. Show evidence of good management and also do what? Show it will make a difference. Next slide. So I saw these 10 simple rules for getting grants. Is that clear? It says be novel but not too. Don't do a proposal that is abstract. Is that clear? We'll see your time. Second one says include appropriate background. The third fund idea, there's IBR, Abi. No IBR. The sequence is that this year you apply for and get IBR 2, 3, 4 million now. Is that also? And you do a preliminary proof of concept work. Are you following? And get some data to show that your idea is useful. Based on that data, you are now applying for what? NRF. So when we review, we are happy to see that this person got IBR and has some preliminary results. That shows progressive thinking. Is that clear? Number 3 is what? find a funder, follow guidelines. It is in not following guidelines that you get disqualified. Is that clear? Number 5 is what? Obey the 3 C's. Be concise, be clear, and be very what? Complete. Number 6 is remember what? They have family. They have to sleep sometimes too. They have BP. You know? There are some proposals you pick up like this, the anger will fill your body. As somebody is submitting this kind of thing to, anger will fill your body. They will fling it, get away from here. Timing, and so some of us, are very, I don't know how to say it, but so many of us find it difficult to share the ideas. You write something and you don't give it to somebody to. Somebody said they will steal a topic. You don't have a topic since. What have you? Hello, you GMSs. So let people go through your proposal. That's why you have to have a team. So for the white people's grants, they expect you to call the grant administrator and establish a. Yeah, you have to do that. Number 9 is become a grant reviewer. That one is not important. Number 10 is what? Accept rejection and do what? Deal with it appropriately. It's not your father's money, like I said before. Next slide. So the next one is to build team. Do you have any questions? So any questions from the past one? I'm talking too much, have you? Any questions or comments? Or do we progress? Huh? So how would you, I asked the question before about the teams we have. How do we build our teams? Dr. Okeke is my friend, though. Put him there. Your department, your same discipline, put him there. Ijoma insult somebody too much. Don't you remember? You make a list of 6 people based on sentiments that will contribute absolutely. Sometimes it's a strategy. Are you following? It's a strategy to be the sole owner of the work. So when the money comes, you are the sole owner of the work. The third fund has certain requirements for research teams. Is that clear? Seniority, juniority, male, female, multidisciplinary. All those things are very important. So you need to choose your team. So for a long time, I'm guilty of. For a long time, I was a team. Me here, I was a team. In 2004, when I was applying for one grant, the grant for individual was $13,000. The grant for team was $25,000. I became a team. So I don't put people in there, put their name. I get the money, but nowadays it wasn't a good thing. Because all those that have trained, they all have the same mindsets. They're all very selfish kind of thinking. So you have to build a team to make your life easier. Next slide. You have to have this kind of engagement. It's very important. You need to discuss with people, not your friends or your departmental colleagues. Just have an open house where you come out and you say what your idea is. Are you following? And those in the room can either say, I have such interest or something. And you build a team from there if you want. Is that clear? Next slide. It's too much grammar. Next slide. After I'll give this to you. I have time for this. Too much grammar. Says the 5 pillars of what? Team building. Building trust. How do you build trust? How do you do what? How do you resolve conflicts? How do you increase commit? So all of these points become important when you have a team. Is that also? If it's a group of friends and colleagues, there is trust now. At least all of us know it's my project. Is that also? So when the money comes, anything I give you, my project. But when you have people contributing equally to the project, that follow. So for instance, now in third fund NRF, there is a strong bias for senior people to lead. Are following? Senior people to lead. Minimum senior lecturer, preferably professor for universities, right? Now there are younger colleagues that have ideas. Are you following? So they now need to go and find a senior colleague to front as the PI. We have that a lot in Futo. A lot of it. Then when the money comes, you go change you. When the money comes, you know how money does. So now we encourage them to do what? Have an agreement. Have an agreement. Because it is this young person's idea. He knows how to. But the senior person too is not a passenger because he's the one that has gone to Abuja to stand and defend that. There has to be what? Understanding, right? Next slide. So do what? Identify with the right people. So I will challenge director. Summon a meeting like this again. Those that have, if we had time, it's things we should have done today. If you have an idea, come out here. I'll give you. It's called idea pitching. You come out here and in 5 minutes you say what your no story, just pitch your idea. Those that have that similar kind of thing, or those that think they can contribute something, they will do what? They will say. And you form a group. You start to do the, that clear? What are you bringing? So it's when you have the right people, you will know their strength. Is that also? Know who does what better? You know what skills, who needs to improve on what skills. And so it's okay. Next slide. Jump this one, they go. Let's go. In a nutshell, high-performing teams consist of diverse members who are committed to what? Common outcomes. Careful attention must be paid to the interpersonal skills of team members and to the team functioning. If you know a troublesome person, some of us are troublesome, is that also? Avoid them. Avoid them, let them not be members of your team. But you can join their team. Is that clear? Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. There's a lot important about this interdisciplinary. Third fund wants to see, for instance, that in your research team you have what? People from different. So one reason for this qualification is research team. All of you, same department. Is that clear? And nowadays too, there's a lot of focus on interdisciplinary collaboration. So it's there. Next slide. Next one, jump on this one. So work together. Is that clear? What has helped us in Futo is this kind of gathering. Some of your colleagues come to Futo too. When State Fund calls for concept notes, we start to meet. People start to draft and we review and correct and we show them what I will show you now. Is that clear? There's a marking scheme for this thing actually. Next slide. So let's now go to State Fund as we end. So State Fund call for proposal is now in how many stages? 2 stages. One is the concept notes. And 2 is what? Full proposal. And the idea is simple. Submissions every year can sometimes reach 40, 20, 30, 40,000 submissions. Right? And you have about 50 people in the committee. So imagine 50 people, 60 people reviewing 20,000 proposals. Is that possible? So they said, first stage, let's give a concept note, simple, fewer pages that we will scan to and do what? You scan through and do what? Select those to invite to submit full proposals. That's where life is easy. So there's a concept note, which is the first stage, right? And the best concept notes will be selected. So the concept note is, for me, the most important. Is that also? Because it qualifies you now to do what? Submit your full proposal. So the concept note, you will basically be required to present the problem you want to solve, right? Describe the objectives of the project. Describe who will benefit from your project. Is that clear? Discuss expected results. Describe the activities you plan. And state an estimate of the funding you will require. But more importantly is that the concept note is what? It's an elimination what? Series. Small mistake and you are, is that clear? Next slide. So the concept note has definite format. There's a template for that. Is that clear? It has a title of your project. State Fund has what is called thematic areas. Is that also? You are aware of that? Those areas, they change it every year. So you must state your title, state the thematic area where your project falls into, give a background to your project, state objectives, state the research question, literature review, theoretical framework, methodology, expected results, what is the innovation, the new thing in your project, the budget, references, not more than 5. Then the research team, arranged as name, rank, qualification, and what? Area of specialization. That's the concept note. Next slide. So the key areas in the concept notes include what? The research team. The quality of what? Who leads your team? It's very important. Right? Who is in your team? What are their qualifications and their specializations? Very important. Do you have a mix of old and what? Young. It's very important for that one too. That the project gives room for what? For mentoring. So you must have at least 2 people in your team that are not PhD holders. Right? Is your team multidisciplinary? Is there what? Gender balance? if you have a team of all male, most likely you won't get. Is that clear? If your team is led by a female, gives you an edge. Don't you know that? Globally, it's accepted that we give women more opportunities. If you're applying for any international grant, you have a female lead. If leads are scoring 2, female will score 4, male will score 2. It's accepted. How am I supposed to know? If you want to know why, in your proposal, don't do. Right? When you submit your grant proposal, for instance, when they say gender balance, don't balance. Then you will know the why will be what? The PI must be at least a senior lecturer. Although the new TED Fund, yes, who is not a lecturer, has opened up the thing to anybody can, any rank can apply now. Is that clear? Unfortunately, the reviewers are all what? So it's difficult, for instance, for a professor to sit on a panel and a lecturer too, or a star lecturer will walk in with a professor as a co-researcher. It doesn't look, they won't tell you, when you go they will say, You show evidence of mentoring, okay? That's why I say you must have at least 2, 3 non-PhD holders in your team, compulsory. And one thing I forgot to mention, NRF is for lecturers in the university. Is that clear? You can have external consultants. It's allowed, but no students. The student must be a staff. Are you following? Students should apply for TED Fund scholarships. Is that clear? This one is for lecturers. Then there's group, so all of this is, you must show how your group is, how it's rated. Have any of you in the group worked together before? You have a joint publication. These are all benefits for you. Is that clear? Next slide. The budget fund, the money is for personnel, equipment, lab consumable, data collection, travels. Not for travel for the project, report writing, and for what? Dissemination. That's what the money can cover. And these things, some of them, they have set limits to them. So for instance, your equipment cannot be more than 25% of the budget. If your equipment is 25.1%, what happens? Is that clear? Personnel cost must not be more than 20% of what? Budget. So it is safe when you write your equipment cost, in brackets you put a percentage. So that they won't calculate it for you. Is that clear? Same thing for this one. Dissemination more than what? Not more than 3%. If your equipment, I was arguing with somebody one day, if your equipment budget is above 25%, TED Fund assumes that you don't have enough facilities on ground to do the project. They won't give it to you. Is that clear? Because State Fund has other interventions to furnish labs. Is that not so? So your university, your school should use that money to do what? Buy equipment and leave the research money for other things. What else? So provide a detailed budget requirement, and so one thing we normally do in photo, which they are quarreling with now, is this one. Your institution must make a budgetary what? Contribution. Must. I don't think they say must. That must is because it has mark. Are you following? And remember, if 20,000 people are submitting concept notes, the rate of, you know, when they do jamboree, when you do exam, you see 14.1, 14.2, 14, that point something is the difference between the number they want. Are you following? So 0.1 and 0.2 can get you kicked out. So you must try to do what? Gather all the marks available first before you submit. Right? Next slide. So this is the concept notes scoring template. We have it. And in photo we study it, and before you submit your concept note, you grade yourself. Is that clear? The marks, there are some marks that are not usable. There are some marks you will lose and you are very stupid. Are you following? For instance, title not more than what? 20 words. Is how many marks? You go and give title of 21 words. Huh? You lost 1 mark or 2 marks. Are you following? It will haunt you at the end. Title not more than 20 words. Maybe the person that will review your own, maybe he has glaucoma, or maybe he's having headache, or maybe fly enter his eyes. Best for you to do 16 words. Huh? 7, don't avoid 19. Because 19 can become 21 in somebody's, leave it at 16, 17 words and you are safe. So if you do that one, you have 3 marks already. Is that clear? You don't lose anything from that one. This one is what? Thematic area. State Fund has their thematic areas listed. They expect that you should be able to link your topic to one of those areas. You can do it now. Once you do it, you get what? That's 5 already. Without going into your, Next one is background of the research. Details and justification of the research. How many marks? A lot of marks. Are you following? That 10 marks is broken into 2. Is that clear? One is a motivation for the research gaps, and what? Ways to address. All of this you can put in 5 sentences. If you understand your topic, you get 5 or 4. Hardly will you get 6. We don't give full marks now, do we? Even if students write algebra, you can't give 6/6. You must remove something for the gods. Is that also? That one is 6 marks. The other one is what? Relevance to Nigeria's development. How many marks? How do you write that one? I advise my people to use it as what? A subheading. Are you following? Subheading in your concept note is what? Relevance to Nigeria's development. You now write it. The person will not say he didn't see it. Are you following? Some of us make the mistake that when the man reads the passage, he will be able to. No time for that. Are you following? You know the way we do a marking scheme to mark script? The man is looking for where to put 4 marks. What is he looking for? Relevance to Nigeria's what? Once he sees it, you are sure of 3. And also, you get full marks. You get the marks. You get good marks. If you say to yourself, he will read it, digest it, and know it. You'll put one for you somewhere and go ahead. So if you handle this section properly again, out of the 10 marks, you can get 7. You can get 8, which is good. So relevance to Nigeria's development has many what? It has 4 marks. And also, I will put 5 relevances. Relevant to Nigeria's development. 1, I will write. 2, I will write. 3, I will write. 4, I will write. Even 6. Even if he gives you half, it's how many? Are you following? If you can't put one thing there, he will do what? Put 1 and put 2. But if you fool the thing, the man has conscience now, is that also? He'll give you something there. So that's the way. If something is 4 marks, give 6 options. Are you following? Know how will you get below? You can never go below 3 over 4, which is very, very good. Next one is what? Problem statement. How many marks? Being able to appropriately do what? Define your problem. The one we like to say. If it is for gisting now under the tree or in beer parlor, problems will be coming out. Nigeria's problem. And also, now write it and make money. So 1 is what? Clarity of problem. How many marks? Depth of problem is what? Is that clear? And if you link this one to this one, you must mention Nigeria in your problem. You must do what? Mention Nigeria in your, not the problem, in the problem. Is that clear? And you get the marks. So this one too, you can start to do problem statement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you put in paragraph. It's up to you. Right? The next one, next slide. So go back first. Sorry. Go back. On this slide, how many marks? 5, 10, 25, 28. Sorry, 5, 10, 8, that's 23. Abi? 23 marks. If you can get 18, are you not doing well? Huh? No, it's 23 now. It's 3, 2, 10, 8. Is that clear? 3, 2, 10, and what? 8. 23. So aim for 18, aim for what? 20 by yourself. Is that clear? Next slide. Objective how many? Short-term objective is how many? 6. That's the aim. Long-term objective is what? What is long-term objective? What is long-term objective? What should be the impact of your project? Then also, remember your project is trying to solve Nigeria's what? So that long-term objective will be what? How your project will do what? Make Nigeria better in that regard. Is that clear? In the long run. Must be linked to Nigeria too. Short-term one has specific objectives, they give you 6 marks. Right? If it is me, I will have 8 objectives. Are you following? Yeah? 8 objectives would I give? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and what? 8. Why? So he can give you marks. They will score each one. And so, okay, I tried. Give him 5. Number one is research question. How many marks? This one affected us in Futo very well. Research question. Because we say that science doesn't do research questions. It is for social sciences and is that also? So research question, you put what? Dash. Is that clear? And you score what? It affects us a lot. Scientists, you say, no, research question is not a science language. So when they say you do what, you put what there? And you score what? 0. So everything you must provide. So what is the research question? You know. Is that clear? Last you can. I say those are 8 objectives. Since research question is 3 marks, convert, flip, and take 5 objectives and convert them to questions. That also, you can get 2. If you are lucky, you can get what? Move on to the next one. Is what? Sorry, go back. Literature what? Review. How many? This is where some of us also show our mumuness. This is where some of us, we want to show that we have publications. Are you following? You can put your paper there, list all your papers there. It's not what you're looking for. If you are going to list 5 references, right? We are in the year 2025. One of them should be a 2025 paper. 2, 2024. That's how many? The other 2 can come from anywhere. Is that clear? Because we are looking for relevant and up-to-date references. If you can put your own OKK 1919, OKK, they give you 1, even 0. Next is what? Theoretical framework. That one requires grammar. Again, every project topic is based on a theory. So it's stated there clearly and straightforward. Next slide. See this one? Methodology. How many marks? A lot of marks. 15. This is where you show that thing you said, you know how to implement it. And it's divided into 3. Sampling and sample preparation. How many marks? Appropriate procedure and equipment. How many marks? Data collection and processing. How many marks? If it was me, my methodology will have 3 subheadings. Subheading 1 will be what? Even if my work has no samples, I will put something there. Are you following? And you end, because they cannot take that 3 marks from there and put it in another place. You get it? The 3 marks for sample and sampling, whatever, cannot be put in the appropriate equipment. No. So if you have no showing for that, you lose the 3 marks. So no matter what your project is, you must do what? You must be able to state how you are going to get your samples and the procedures. Next one is what? Appropriate procedure and equipment. So you must list some equipment and some procedures. Remember, it's the concept note. It's not a long methodology. List the things you need to do. It is how many marks? 7 marks. Mention in a text. Mention like 10 equipments you will use. Are you following? And the procedures. They can look at the 10 and give you 6. The other one is data collection and what? Processing. It's what? 5 marks. Many people lose those 5 marks completely. They don't put anything about data collection and processing. Is that clear? But saying something as simple as you use Excel, you use XPSS. Are you following? You use this software to analyze, you get the full marks. It's that simple. So don't omit anything. Data collection, you will use questionnaire. You know what to say, but don't leave it blank. So out of these 15 marks, you can get 13, you can get 12. That's a lot. Expected result is how many? 10 marks. Specific outcomes expected and what? Envisaged national development. So what they want is straightforward. So we target each set of marks. You target it fully. Right? And you get it. Next slide. I think we are done. Then budget is how many? Budget is plenty. Budget is 17. The budget is 12 marks budget. How different is your work from other work? No matter what we are doing in this world, no matter the project we are doing, it builds on something that has been done before. So what do you say? So sometimes you get the marks for just saying something. Because the man doesn't have time to, he said this thing, he will go and start thinking. No. There's no time. Once you say it, you will get marks for it. Get the marks. F for budget, references. Again, I told you what to do. They want 5. Research team has how many marks? 10 marks. Abi? Good blend of quality and experience. If you have 8 members, 9 members, they want to see different ranks. Is that clear? Different specializations. If you have 6 males, you must have 4 females or 5 females. I'm following. So all of this one depends on the bias of the reviewer. So sometimes I tell people, the team you list on your proposal has to be listed based on getting maximum. Is that clear? It doesn't mean that is your team. Everybody in the team must not be listed. No. You choose those that have the things needed for maximum marks. I tell you, if you have a team of 6 females and 4 males, you get more marks by default. That doesn't mean that it is the team that will do the. You are pushing a team to get what? Full marks. Is that clear? When you add this thing, you get 100. And that is how concept notes are scored. Is that clear? So if you know all of this, you should do better. There's a word limit. Are you aware of that? It's 1,500 words. 1,000 words. At that fund, the submission system has a counting system. So when they send the concept notes to the reviewers, on the top right-hand corner, they say how many words. Are you following? When I was a reviewer, that was my best part. I would just scan through the ones that have 1,501 words. Disqualified. Disqualified. Reason for disqualification. Exceeded word limit. Are you following? It's a 50 million naira budget. If you like, be finding cure for HIV. If you put 50 million, 1 kobo, you have done what? Exceeded the budget. Leading to what? Disqualification. Reason. Exceeded what? Budget. Those are the two main. Nobody will question that one. I like it. It makes life easy very well. Because and you will be amazed. You will be amazed at how many people exceed this thing. You'll be shocked. Don't they know? No? There was a guy in Uniport. I know him. Reviewed his concept notes. He had a 42 million budget. My guy now. I just let it go. Full proposal, 68 million naira. From where? Automatic what? Gone. So what kind of from his village, Abi? Village people. It must be evil spirits that made him. What does that mean? So he felt that we had understood the importance of the work. Therefore, next slide. Third fund full. So this is for concept notes, stage 1, right? Which is the most important one. Then the full proposal is based on this one, based on results chain. It's based on how well are you able to link your. Is that clear? Objectives, activities, outputs, outcome, impact. How do you bring them together? That's what the full proposal is focused on. The body of the soul of the proposal is already in the concept notes. Is that clear? Next slide. You know these things, Abi? You know all these things. Next one. Next one. All of you should know this thing. Next slide. I'm tired. So let's take this example here. In defining this output, outcome, and what? And impact. So assuming in this community, right? In a community, students are doing poly, secondary school students are doing poly in mathematics. Is that clear? And you decide to develop a project. This might be a developmental project. You decide to develop a project to improve the students' mathematics capacity. So say you are linking it to the quality of teachers. Is that clear? So you design a project to train what? To train teachers. For a project to fly, you must specify how many teachers you want to train. That's when you talk about all this smart objective, most quantifiable, this or that, you must specify. So you take the teachers, you train them, and they come back to school. What should be the output from that project? The project was to do what? Train 25 teachers in mathematics skills. What will be the immediate result? That's the output is the immediate result. What will it be? It will be 25 trained teachers. That's your result. Nothing else. That is the what? Output. Does that make sense? Now, what about the outcome of that project? What will be the outcome? What do you think? Students start to do better in mathematics. Then also, as can be seen, how do you prove it? Their results in WAEC, in JAM. Then also, that should be the output. That's a different level of the project, that's the outcome. A different level of the project results. What about the impact? When the students start doing well in mathematics, they can start to do well in JAM. start to do engineering. Are you following? Start to do science. So in the next 8-10 years, more people from that community working in Shell. That also, they have more engineers working in oil and gas. That becomes an what? An impact. So the long run, yeah. So for every project proposal you're having, you have to explain your results in this way. One, the direct results from the activities you are doing. That will be the output. Is that clear? Two, what does that output instigate? That is why now for in our center now, when students do proposal, it's a requirement to state the beneficiaries of that project. Is that clear? Once you at the proposal stage, you are very clear on who are the project beneficiaries. Then it's easier for you to state outcomes and what? And impacts. But for TED Fund, impacts always have to be linked to Nigeria's development, ultimately. Is that clear? Next slide. So note, in all of this, right? Each objective you list has activities you will do. Then also, because the whole idea of a project is to do what? Achieve the objectives. So you have to list out the activities for each objective. So each activity has an output. Each activity must give you a result. You have to know it too, clearly. Each objective also has what? Outcomes. Those outputs, what's the next level of their importance, what will it be? Right? Then the project, the aim of the project, the goal of the project will lead to the impact, the long-term impact on Nigeria's. Is that clear? All of this is called theory of change. It's all over the internet, so you can study and get it better. Next slide. It is very important now for all projects, even for UN projects, all of those things. Next one, we'll finish with this one. Next one, we've done this before. So I was thinking we can have a breakout session. Is it possible? For 10 minutes. Put ourselves in a group. In group, can have 10. I want us to. I've never seen a group of unpatriotic people like Nigerians. Nowhere in this world. Even a child is already yapping Nigeria has come. In other countries, children are very violently, are you following? Violently. That is what they are taught in school, and it helps them in their. In Nigeria here, the teacher will use this. So I tell my students, for instance, when you train somebody, he graduates, becomes a degree holder. We are prepared when they go outside and get a job in a bank or oil and gas or whatever. They employ them as management trainees. Is that clear? That means that the work we are doing, we are actually training managers. That's what it is. So these managers we are training will enter Keke Napep, or Keke Boss. And Keke driver will be the one telling them what they believe. That's the Keke driver's opinion. They will buy it and hold it. That's the sin. I follow you. A Keke driver that should sit down on the student's leg and try to tap some of the is not the one influencing the students. So let us learn how to make money from Nigeria's problems. That is what we want to do now in the next 10 minutes. Is that clear? You form your, if you have time, form your group. Select a national challenge. Nigeria has come now. Nothing is working. Tinubu has failed. Buhari failed. Hope has failed. Everybody has failed. Everything is ofoteregole. How much can you make from these failures? If actually you know that they are you following? Because Nigeria, the biggest challenge we have is we don't like to reason. We don't interrogate anything. Anything we hear, we believe. Then also, it's safer that way, so don't think about it. So which problem can we think of? I will give some examples here. Take one problem. Drug abuse, whatever. Develop the topic and develop 2 or 3 objectives. What's it? I have a meeting today. What's that? Ow. I talk too much, right? For this matter, I talk too much. I can talk till evening if you leave me here. So are we game for that? Huh? Let's see how we can start to identify research topics for the next, because by the next 2-3 months there will be a call for concept notes. Must come out. It comes every year. And once you start to respond to research proposal calls, you will realize that all proposals come out, all the calls for proposal come out same time every year. Same time. All the international, all of them come out same time. So the ones you have missed this year, you start now to plan for the. So how do we group ourselves? Not discipline, please. Possibly no 2 people from the same discipline in the group. Is that clear? See, why it's good to have a group? It's in this results chain thing. You see how we were here? Are you following? Talk about training 25 maths teachers. What will be the output? What will be the outcome? People from their perspective will give you. When you collect all of it, you have something better than one-man job. So maybe the way you are sitting or something, let's have teams and work on something.
Okay, so temporarily, let's use our sitting arrangement to create a group. I don't know. Can we do like this way? From this chain, this way. How many groups do we have? Like this P now. These 2 P forms a group. It's too big. Okay, so we should cut in between. Okay, let's use chain.
How many crystals? No. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Please, let's take it each line. Each line. Hmm? We're looking at it. Yeah, please. We take each line. This line develop. It's just for the learning purpose. Thank you. Each line, you develop a topic based on the directive. The same thing with us. Please, make it faster. And then appoint a group leader, a team leader, right? Um, Dr. Raf, you'll be a team leader here. All right? Eze, Dr. Eze, the team leader. Huh? Yeah. Yes. Ms. Nkechi Iwuchukwu, you lead this team. All right? You lead the team. Here. How do you stand? Hello. What's your name? Ujo? Iwuchukwu? You lead here. Mrs. Stella, you lead your team. Who else is there? Let me see her face. No, Stella, lead. Now, what's up? IJ. Please, nobody, please. Please, you are to generate your own topic, not the ones on the board. No, now, listen now. You are to generate your own topic, not the ones here. I'm telling you the instruction. Please. IJ. Okay, HOD is here. IJ is equally here. IJ will lead. No, we prefer women now. That's Onuji flag. You will lead this one. Please, quickly. Let me see her face. What's the name? Chioma? Uzoma? Gospel? Uzoma, you lead that one, please. Not the topic on the board, please. Who leads this one? Palm tree. Palm tree, you lead this group. Who is the HOD? HOD, Dr. Winnie. Please, no noise. Dr. Winnie, you are HOD, you decide. Somebody should lead. Dr. Winnie. Dr. Winnie, you lead that group. My dean, you lead this group. Please. This, I don't want to say it on microphone. This Bushman. Doc will lead this bright Bushman. I don't know. Adio Sagu, please. Who lives here? May I see your face? Any volunteer? Because I don't know you personally. Volunteer? You lead us. Put our name. HOD computer. You will lead here. Adelika. You need some women. Do we bring some women? Mrs. Onyewenjo, you will lead. Please, don't choose the topic already on the board. Please. Maybe on behalf of the directors, Maxwell Ugebe, you lead this team from that side, this side. All of you are there. You lead. What's the time frame? 5 minutes. Please, 5 minutes. Ralph, I hope you are coordinating. No, you come out and lead. You can't stay there. Please, it's good you step out of your comfort zone and see what others are doing, right? Because it's a learning process. Don't sit tight where you are. move out, ask questions. Kehunu mega. You learn from it, right? Tega, I hope you are moving. My dean, I hope he's moving. Please put your hands this way so that you learn. Those of you there, I hope you are contributing. Remember, it's a learning process. You must get involved. Please. Madam, where are you leading from? Where are you leading from? Step out and meet them. All right. My HOD, I hope they are all involved. All right. You have more women around you. Three minutes gone, remaining 2 minutes. ICT. Flash that, but nobody should copy the example there. That particular session.